Warning, this video isn't for anyone under the age of 16. If you're under 16 years old, please leave the video now because we do get into some adult type shit. Thank you. Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy CharlesISanimeWorld, and welcome to my review of Undead Unlocked Chapter 5. Overall, it was a good chapter. I read better, but this was an overall good chapter. The reason it wasn't a great chapter is because it was very predictable. I could see the punchline coming, but at the same time, even though I saw the punchline coming, I enjoyed waiting for it. Okay, so let's talk about this. First things first, I like Gina. I really, really like Gina. As soon as I saw her, I knew who she was. I knew that she was a member of the Union. You know, that's what I mean by predictability. Like, you could just tell where this chapter was going. But at the same time, I really like her as a character. And I hope that she's going to be the one that Fuko and Andy has to kill to join the Union. I really, really hope she's not one of them because I like her. I really do like her. And could you imagine the conversations that Gina and Fuko would have, like, if they were on the same team? You know, they were already getting along, as it were. Now, imagining them, you know, working together, I believe that that would be a great, great combo, okay? Now, you're asking yourself this question: how did Gina walk on water, and how did she make the lake float? Remember, last week we found out about her ability. She can make invisible barriers. So what I believe she did was make a invisible barrier underneath her feet, between her feet and the water, and that's why it appeared she was walking on water, but in fact she was just using her invisible barriers. So we see a little bit of a taste of what her invisible barriers can actually do. Andy went to cut her. She blocked it, I would assume, with another invisible barrier. So again, is Gina like a vampire? You know, we're gonna have to talk about that a little bit later on in this review. So once Andy and Fuko make it to Russia, their plane explodes in the middle of the air. I guess because, like Andy said, the Union figured out they had stole the aircraft, and they just decided to detonate it, explode it. You know, so did Andy use Fuko as bait? Because he says go out, have fun. You know, the Union wouldn't try anything, you know, with all these tourists around. So they like to do things in private, handle things quietly, which, you know, I can completely understand. So I'm wondering, did Andy know that Fuko, did Andy know that Gina was out there, or some member of the Union just waiting, you know, and he just used Fuko as bait? You know, we'll never know. One thing we did find out, though, within this chapter is that Fuko has a special ability, or a special skill or move, or whatever you want to call it. She can slip through groups of people very cleanly, very easily. Now, think about that. She can slip through groups of people very easily, right? Imagine if you combine that with her UNLUCK ability. She could slip through people, touch them on their hand, you know, just graze against them and cause them, you know, crazy amounts of bad luck. So again, that's pretty cool when you really think about it. And I think that that's going to play a very important point later on. That's why they tried to showcase it off earlier on, so you can see that, oh yeah, Fuko can slip through those people quite easily. Now, overall, the meat of this chapter, the overall, you know, discussion of this chapter was between Fuko and Gina, and they were talking about stuff that changes or stuff that stays the same. When it came down to it, Fuko liked stuff that changes because, you know, she met Andy, and, you know, like she said, she was a shut-in her whole life, and as soon as she met Andy, you know, things changed. Gina, on the other hand, likes things to stay the same. You know, that's why she likes painting so much, because, you know, that picture will always stay the same. It will never change. Well, I mean, obviously if somebody writes on it or something, it will, but if no one touches it, it will never change. And I believe that's a take on who she is as well. Like, she's never going to change. I think that Gina is probably, to some extent, a vampire. I truly believe that Gina has been living longer, or just as long as Andy. So I don't know. I really don't know. But hey guys, that'll do it. That's been my chapter review of Undead Unlocked Chapter 5. Really enjoyed it this week. I really enjoyed the conversation that Gina and Fuko had about stuff that changes and stuff that stayed the same. I like that. I like that Gina gave Fuko a nickname as well, and gave Andy one and called Andy her deadly darling, as it were. And I noticed something. Another reason why I say that Gina is just as old as Andy, or maybe even older, is because Andy pointed out, he said, you kind of went a little heavy on the makeup. So obviously that's not Gina's real face. Her real face is high head underneath tons and tons of makeup. And I wonder what she actually really does look like. But overall, I do like Gina. I like her Japanese style clothes that she wears, everything like that. And again, it was a good chapter. But hey, that'll do it. Thank you guys so much. I'm not going to hold you too long. I'll catch you guys next week. And hey, sayonara, suckers.